Well, hey, welcome everybody. It's good to see you to a slightly unexpected Wastrel Wednesday, but just a quick update. Yes, I'm here, but I believe I did see Doomsword drift by on a burlap sack full of coconuts. That's the weather. Let's go to sports and our roaming DM, Mr. Kyle, the Viking Hat GM. Kyle, how the hell are you, buddy? How you feeling?
Hey, boys and girls. Good. I'm
good.
Fine. It's just family that was sick.
Okay. And how's the fam?
Yeah, they're all good.
Great.
6-year-old girl. They're a bit dramatic when they're sick. So.
Oh, yeah. Don't I know it? So, well, it's good to have you back. So we're in for some classic Trav tonight, and I'm excited about it. And I hope all of our watchers, whether they're live or whether they're coming in and watching this at a later time, are equally excited. So we have we have 3 of our players are here. We're missing a couple. So oh no, look at that. We have 4. 4 are here. Well, I shouldn't have said 3 or 4. I should have said 4 or 5 because I'm playing too.
You should have just said some, and then
some. Well, I've been working. I've been putting spit and polish on white papers, so I just think in numbers right now. This is my break, except to eat, tend to my wife who is not feeling well, and keeping an eye out for flying branches. My life has been immersed in development security operations. So anyway, let us welcome in our galaxy of superstars. We have Tonka Todd as Bubba. We have there's Sapphire. There's TK, who is not Sir Outlier.
Yes, I am.
And the one and only Razor. Good evening, kids.
Good evening.
Evening.
Hello. Is it
Howdy.
No. I wake up and the sun's down. I go to sleep and the sun's down. I think we're just perpetually in night. Thimble winter has come. We are all going to die.
I'm just sitting here this is my reviewing of the characters, and it just struck me as I glanced at that here I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters plus 2 NPCs that I control, and they're fitting on one digest page book. And there's plenty of systems where even your own character would not fit on one page, let alone 6. And that's travel.
That's okay. We'll improvise.
Yeah. Well, I
improvise,
mean, that's
overcome, and improvise, adapt, and overcome.
We're the Marines now?
I am.
Yeah, but don't let me in with them.
Bubba was a Marine.
I'm an ex-merchantman.
I was just a simple scout.
So I guess in the
You-
loosest sense, I'd be a Marine.
Merchant Marine.
As I said, in the loosest sense, I'd be a Marine.
Merchant Marines, ain't those the Marines that stand guard at like department stores at Christmas time?
Yep. something
Yes,
like that.
that is exactly them.
That's a wanna cop.
Okay.
Merchant Marine is an alternate term for mall cop, eh?
There we go.
Cool. Characters in combat, we'll definitely need that book. Starships, you may need that book. Worlds and Adventures.
By the way, as a player, I would like to file an official grievance. We did not hijack this ship. We stole it.
No, we actively acquired it.
I'll take anything, but we did not hijack it. We did not board this ship by force and take the crew hostage and state a political or social reason for taking this ship and leave
It was
with it.
abandoned property. So
It's
So
All
we
right,
actively
so
acquired it. It was abandoned.
we
for the viewers
are
who didn't know, it was disputed ownership.
we are like one of those car resto videos where they find a car out in a field and get it running and drive it home, except we have guns.
Yeah,
Well,
and
our
except
car is like
a
a-
guy has popped up
A couple of
a
them,
little while
maybe. Yeah.
later saying that car out in the field belonged to me, and he lodged some papers with the court saying it belongs to me, and you resolved that by shooting him and his friends and then finishing them off by cutting their throats in a bathtub.
He attacked
then
us.
going-
We
and
just
then going
defended
off.
ourselves.
Well,
That
I
is-
don't think it was
don't look at
self-defense
it
when you
as don't
when you
look
cut
at
their
it as we
throats in
cut
their
their
bathtub. I don't
throats.
think that was self. That was
Don't-
There's no proof. There's no proof.
Except for all the blood all over the bathtub.
Don't look at it as we cut their throats. Look at it as we gave them fancy neckties, so now they
Yep.
can go out on the town.
Yes.
And then they just went off to the ship and they took the customs seals off and tossed aside the court order and took off in the ship.
Yes.
As one
the-
does.
The local authorities may have something to say about that.
Yeah, that's the issue. They're local. We're not there anymore. Hopefully.
Well, you took off into orbit. There may be system defense boats, but there's none in the immediate area. But you guys have got some wounds to tend to,
Hmm.
because Bubba was very much the worse for wear, as was
Myself.
Kinderbud, yeah, Gary's character.
Mhm.
Didn't we
Um,
decide upon what planet we were going to and we were going to head there and figured they'll
yes.
heal on the way?
Lagun.
Yes. Yeah, you decided to go to Le Guin. It's
We
not
have-
an instant process, so there's a couple of
They'll be
aspects.
able to
So one
heal
is-
on the way.
We
Yeah,
hope.
they'll be able to heal on the way. But the jump, you can't just jump, do the jump like right on the surface of the planet or even in orbit. You have to be 100 radii away
Mhm.
from any kind of gravitational body. That even means like in our own Earth solar system, you wouldn't be able to jump until you'd passed the orbit of Venus because of the diameter of the star.
Right.
Technically, you can jump closer, but then there's a larger chance of a misjump where your ship might explode or go in a random direction, or go full Sam Neill and where we're going, we don't need eyes.
Annoying
so-
stuff.
You don't know where you'll end up. And you also need to reduce the chances of a misjump, some good kind of targeting information. So it's pretty common. on
Wibbly
wells
wobbly.
to jump
Timey
tapes and
wimey.
Yep.
so you do all those calculations, and those calculations actually take a day or two to make.
That's
They're
fine.
just
We'll
pretty
double
rough.
check it too.
Yeah. They'll just be rough. They're not things that you can do while you're all beaten up and wounded, though.
Well, our navigator is good.
Yep, that's true. Navigator's good.
Bubba's just laying in his bunk muttering, "Nobody takes my bedazzled flip flops."
You'll all need a wash because you're all going to be rather covered in blood, either yours or those of your friends or those of your victims. You all need to clean up.
I would like to protest my innocence. By the way, I knew nothing of a murder in a bathtub. The rest of it,
I wasn't there either. I was in the other room. Plausible deniability.
It's the nature of adventuring parties. You have collective responsibility for the evil, for the good and the evil. You get the treasure, you also get the blame.
They are not my children.
All right. So, yeah, you're in orbit around Gibson main world at the moment. And just engaging in your calculations. What else have we got? The orbit closest to the sun is an asteroid belt. Gibson's the second. Then there's just a rock, a Mars-type rock, and there's a small gas giant and an ice ball, and then a medium gas giant. So that's the Gibson system. Now you could just head out in a straight line or away from the world to get your distance. Now, what's the radius of the thing? So, okay, so it's that 60,000. Okay, so
for those
depends how many G's you want to pull. Okay, so in your I don't know.
We're going to be gentle. We have healing people.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. You can only pull as many G's as you've got current endurance before you definitely pass out.
I mean, we don't want to sit there healing back.
Yeah. Let's hit the 1G and get started with that.
Yep. You can pull 1G for 36 hours before you run out entirely of reaction mass, and you'll be a bit stuffed at the other end. So, in other words, for about half of that. But yeah, you can pull a quarter, half, 1, etc. G. Normally, G's above 1 are reserved for combats because they burn through your reaction mass like nobody's business.
Right.
So, where are we? Oh, I can't. What am I going to try and post it in chat? Where are we? I had this. There we go. Here's the Heinlein.
There we go. For those of us who missed last time, how did we get off the planet?
We stabbed and shot our way out of a cheap motel room, drove straight to the spaceport. We clambered on our ship. We blasted off and probably atomized a whole bunch of people on the ground in doing so. But
we also bribed some locals.
We did bribe.
No, you only atomized or burned up. You wouldn't have atomized them, but you burned up some Haldeman soldiers. Or Josephite soldiers, rather.
Yeah, nobody cares about them anyway.
Because they came rolling up to stop you taking off. Rolling up in a Jeep.
Well, as long as we aren't going to get shot out of the sky, then.
I can really not promise you that.
We'll find out.
Okay. So your navigator, Jane Arquette, she tells you there is actually 2 system defense boats in orbit around Gibson. She spotted them at a distance with her own active radar. They're not pinging their own active radar or anything at the moment. So they won't necessarily have observed you. So there's no magical sensors here. It's just in this game universe, it's just normal radar and visual and all the rest. So if you want to be able to see something, you've got to be able to visually see it through a scope or ping some radar out. When you ping some radar out, you're sending the signal out, they may see it. There's no stealth. The only stealth is obscurity, because you're going to be, 270 degrees or 300 degrees above the background of space. So you're always going to stand out for that. But you really stand out when you get your drives going, because your drives, like somebody calculated the Rocinante as if it were a real drive, Rocinante in the Expanse, and it put out, it had a power output of 95 terawatts. By comparison, the entire power output of the human race at the moment is 18 terawatts. It's equivalent to a 20 kiloton nuclear bomb going off every second. So that's going to be a bit easier to see. That's a star in the sky kind of thing. Whereas it's just the ship. They just happen to be looking at, and they might not spot the glare. Like recently, apparently, an asteroid that sits inside the orbit of the Earth, between the Earth and the Sun, was discovered, and they think there's probably a few more, but it's usually hard to spot because of the glare of the sun. So obscurity is your best defense normally, but your navigator has spotted them. So 2 systems defense boats.
Okay.
Well, let's just fly casually here.
Are there any other ships in the area that we could kind of blend in with or something?
Well, let's see. Where's my dice?
Clamp our ship onto theirs and wait for them to start to jump.
Do the Star Wars move.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think? Is this Star Wars?
I think they'd kind of notice if we came up close to them like that.
Yeah.
Depends upon the size of the ship and the size of our ship. You don't know.
That's
Yeah,
true. If it's Star Destroyer, then maybe we can get away with it.
If we're getting close to them, just know Bubba is pressing his bare rear end up to a window.
You are wiping it when you're done, buddy. I do not want those prints.
Nasty.
Why did I not stay in the Navy?
And miss out on all this fun. Come on.
Because you didn't want to listen to the village people anymore.
That too.
Well, there's a few communication satellites, and there's also a freighter that appears to be heading down to the port that you came from.
Oh. Well, we're not going back down, so that's not of any use.
Think. Now we have Bubba.
How big are the comstats?
Say again, how big are the comsats?
Yeah.
They were just as big as you expect, like not usually much bigger than a desk.
Okay.
A desk
All right.
or a room.
All right. Just checking. Well, all we can do is go about our normal business, hope that those pinnaces are on the other side of the planet when we decide to boost, and don't get a phone call anytime soon and come looking for us. How far away are they?
Well, they're in the same orbit, so they would have to. They're in 2 different orbits. One's in a low orbit, one is in a high orbit. So each of them would have to change their acceleration to meet you and to match orbits.
Okay. Well, they're going to get a phone call sooner than later that we kind of shot our way out of the starport and are probably somewhere up here. And as much as it pains me, and I mean it will cause me actual physical pain. We should probably boost and head for the outer system so we can make good our departure. I don't want to try to do that with these guys snuggling up and rubbing their laser nipples all over us, if you know what I'm saying.
Kinky, why wasn't I invited?
You're here, aren't you?
I should have handled this from the start.
It's the complaining that bothers me. I do everything in my power for this crew. Anyway.
Okay, so I'll just so that thing that I've got shared on the screen that shows like how long you can accelerate for, and counterintuitively, you don't get as much delta V. You don't get as much change in your velocity with a higher acceleration as you do. You do in a short term versus long term. So like a quarter of G gives you 5,000 kilometers a second delta V over that's 576 hours, whereas 6 Gs only gives you 212 over the 1 hour that you can do it for. It's counterintuitive, but that's how it is. It's just because it burns through all the reaction mass. So that just gives you a qualitative idea. We're not going to go into all the details of every last number. That would be a total pain in the ass.
Okay.
That was all Greek to me.
Yes, there are some Greek characters in the equations, I'm entirely certain. Navigator, do it to it.
Okay, so make some calculations to get yourself out of orbit and towards a jump point.
Okay.
That's the freighter that was going towards the downpour.
Oh, that ship is so much cooler looking than ours.
Cool.
I don't know. Ours has flames on the sides, if I remember correctly.
I don't know, man. That looks so cool and utilitarian and sort of lived in cathode ray tech, and this thing looks like something from an ancient Earth adventure magazine.
Of course, what's interesting is its landing gear is at the nose and the engines are at the other end.
No, it's not landing gear. It's cargo handling gear.
Yeah, it pushes up against bulk containers and clamps onto them.
Mm.
It's like a flying forklift.
Basically, yeah.
I wonder if that's its call sign, the flying forklift.
You wouldn't normally expect a craft like that to actually land on planets, land on worlds. So that's a bit unusual.
Okay.
They might need repairs.
And it did actually have, it's not pictured, but it did actually have a big container on the front.
Cool.
He's a space trucker.
He absolutely is.
Maybe with some square pigs.
Bubba's pumping his arm up and down in hopes the space trucker honks his horn.
What would a horn sound like in space?
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, in space.
I mean, there's no oxygen, so is there a horn or is there not?
In space, no one can hear you be an obnoxious driver.
I thought it was Scream.
Same thing. All right. Right. So that goes off. Goes into land. Okay. So nav officer, there's active radar pinging over in your direction now. It's fairly weak, so it's probably just a general radar sweep. So those of you, your characters who've been in the Navy know that ships on patrol will tend to do that. from time to time. They don't put the radar on all the time because you just burn out the instruments and stuff. But just from time to time, you just do a general sweep. And if you get any pings, you'll then do the more targeted one to try to get some information about that thing that's flying in.
Raise shields. Activate the cloaking device.
Wrong
wish.
system.
All right. Are we navigator?
Well,
Are we-
she needs to make her a roll. So,
Oh,
yeah. And as always, roles aren't required to do things. Roles are required to do things well and/or quickly. That's why roles are always required in combat, because you've always got to do it quickly.
right.
So,
She's currently not here,
yeah.
so
Who's rolling those bones?
yeah.
Well, I'm the
Tammy-
commander. I'll do it.
Yeah, Tammy won't be here for at least another 10 minutes.
I got a 8. That's pretty good, right?
Yep. And she's got navigation, so that brings it to 9. Yep. She said, yeah, she said it's a fairly simple burn to gradually increase the orbit, boom, 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 until you're at the right distance. And she said, if we're in a real hurry, the alternate one is just to go, boom, like that. So doing that sort of loop is the more reaction mass efficient way, whereas doing the direct one is the get away friggin' quick way.
Get away friggin' quick. And before you start that process, I'm going to go lie down in my bunk clutching a handful of morphine syrettes. Because this is going to hurt a lot.
It is going to hurt a lot. Yeah, the guys who are fairly wounded need to go and lie down and let the other. If there's
I'm laid down and strapped in and basically passed out.
Okay. All right. So as a crew, we've got Reggie being a captain, Benjo, an NPC, being a pilot, Tammy's Jane Arquette being the navigator. She's absent until a little bit. We've got the NPC Chakal being the engineer. We've got Sapphire's Yana being the mechanic. We've got Ricky's Linda Zhao and Gary's Kinder Bud being the gunnery officers, or payload and gunnery. So Kinder will be out. And then we've got Todd's, Doug Lubrianti, Bubba, being security. So you'd be spread throughout the ship. A lot of you sitting alone in your different bridges.
Yep.
Alrighty.
And if you don't strap yourselves in before this burn, you will be spread throughout the ship.
Okay. So you want to do the piloting role for it? Turn the ship up and...
Unless somebody else does. I'm not trying to be a spotlight hog. If anybody else wants to roll it, that's fine.
No, go for it.
Yeah, if we fail, I want it to be your fault.
That is a 9. That is a 9.
Okay. So his piloting takes you up. Boom. He gradually increases the acceleration. He's nice. He's not like one of those ones that just like slams it. He gradually increases the acceleration, and you have about 25 terawatts of power churning out behind you, like a 5 kiloton bomb going off every second.
There was actually a spaceship design that they were considering in the 60s that did just that. Project Orion. Basically, the fuel was a nuclear missile fired out the aft of the ship, like one every second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they could
Still
get
a viable
fusion drive-
still a concept.
Well, if they could get a fusion drive like the Rocinante to actually work, it would be an equivalent amount of power, just ridiculous amounts of power.
Yeah.
All right. So.
But a lot smaller space.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's actually out the back. It's out the back.
No,
so
but I mean, to store how many missiles? How big does the ship have to be?
Well, it doesn't have to be missiles, just enough to drop it out the back end, really.
Yeah, there's a bit of an over.
So there are little So in this one, the idea is there's little fusion pellets, and they fire them out with a rail gun, and then use lasers to ignite them. Laser ignited
Okay.
fusion. It's one of the ideas that's around nowadays for making fusion work, commercial fusion work. Whether it'll ever come to anything, who the hell knows? Probably not, but it makes for good sci-fi. So anyway, and also good, easy money from the government. So you burn up. How many Gs you put? Just the one?
I would say, I'd say keep it at the one so we don't attract too much attention.
Yep.
And then if they start coming after us, then we can kick it in the ass.
All right. Within a couple of minutes, your navigator, Jane Arquette, tells you we're getting active radar now, active targeted radar. Somebody's having a close look at this ship that's that's burning away.
Well, as my security officer often says, bye-bye.
Okay, so you you get a hit on the radio, comms come up, and comms come up on Berlin, and it says Heinlein. This is the Josephite ship, Hamburg. Stop your engines. They are coming to board you.
No, thanks. We didn't order any hamburgers from some guy named Joseph, but thank you just the same. Maybe it was that cargo ship that went past us. What do they say?
They repeat their message that you got to shut down your engines.
What? I can't hear you. I'm sorry. You'll have to repeat. My engines are too loud.
And Arquette tells you that the ship is changing course. It's boosting out of its orbit. This Hamburg ship is boosting out of its orbit to come towards you.
How long will it take us to get into jump range?
At your current 1G, what am I doing that? Why am I looking at calculations when I can just look at the good old book and save myself all the calculations?
Bubba is blaring Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet Ride really loud in his room.
And we would too if we didn't have to worry about
Absolutely.
copyright and things. Okay. At 1G, it's going to take you about 6 hours.
Okay, and
Fairly clear.
is it a geometric or an exponential shortening of time? Like if we go to 2Gs, does it then become 5 hours or does it become 3 hours?
I'll be right back. Continue.
It's square, so if you double it, then you 1/8. So just as an example, 1G, you burn through all your reaction mass in 36 hours and get 82 million kilometers away. 2Gs, you burn through all your reaction mass in 9 hours and get 10 million kilometers away before you burn all your reaction mass. You know what I mean? It's just that because you've got limited reaction mass is the problem.
Right, but I'm just wondering about like how much faster will we, or maybe you did answer my question. I guess what I'm saying is if we go to 2Gs, we'll faster. And if I'm reading you, the answer is no, we won't.
Well, yeah, you'll get there faster, but you'll burn through your reaction mass. You won't have
all of it. Okay.
Well, no, you won't burn through all of it, but it's because you don't know what acceleration the system's defense boat can manage. Typically, now as a Navy guy, typically they'll be able to pull more Gs and for longer because they don't jump. They're just entirely within the system, so they can devote more of their space to engines and power plants and weapons, of course, but also fuel or reaction mass. So usually, systems defense boats, it's kind of like fighters versus bombers. You know, the bomber plane's carrying other stuff, so it's not as maneuverable compared to the fighter.
Okay.
System defense boats can usually.
All right. Well, we'll see. Oh, there she is. You've been doing a great job on the ship, Tammy.
Oh, good.
All right, so catch her up on what she and the crew have been doing.
We boosted off the surface of the planet. We've been making our calculations to jump to Le Guin, and we have an
SDB.
We have been hailed by the Popo and are currently burning at 1G away from the planet, trying to get to where we can jump.
And Bubba is blaring Steppenwolf Magic Carpet Ride.
And how long will it take the SBD to get into range of us?
Well, it depends how hard they burn. You don't know.
Well,
you don't know how hard they can do. At the moment, they're just pulling 1G, but they're just changing their orbit to try to, you know, to intercept you.
Okay.
And they're expecting that you'll just stop and drift, or because you haven't yet broken out of your orbit. You've just gone into a higher orbit in effect.
right.
So if you just stop your engines now, you'll end up with a big elliptical orbit around Gibson, and that's what they're asking you to, or telling you to do.
Just so everyone's aware, we're not stopping. All right. I just want us all to be on the same page. We're not stopping.
You know what? They will probably simply shoot us out of hand if they find us, or they'll shoot us as we try to run away. I'd rather take the option of running.
Yep. I'm entirely okay with that.
And I say we give them the one finger salute as we do.
Did we ever get our guns back?
No,
Yeah.
but we picked up a couple shotguns.
Did they fix our defense systems on the ship, Kyle, when they did the overhaul?
Everything's fixed. Everything's fixed.
All right.
I mean, it's still got the original scuff marks and things, but
Things work.
yeah,
That's fine.
but things work.
But all of our guns are aimed forward, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't fancy the chances of getting in a shootout with one of these little planes, but still.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
they
not a
probably
little
have-
plane. It's not a
They
little
probably
plane.
have gun turrets versus our fixed mounts.
Yep.
It's approximately twice the size of your craft, and at a guess, you'd say it would have a crew of 20 to 30 on it.
Fun.
It can outshoot us and outman us. So all we can do is hope we can run away. That, or if it gets close enough, do a miss jump.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if that's the only option.
Yep. Okay. So you're burning along, and they keep repeating their message for you to stop your engines. So obviously, like, they're hundreds of thousands of kilometers away at this point. So if they've got missiles and lasers and that, they're not firing them yet because they won't be able to hit you anyway.
Okay.
Hit you anyway. And the message comes through. The signal strength is larger, which leads you to think that they're doing like a tight beam. They're trying not to broadcast it to the whole system. And it says information is that you have contraband on board. You must stop and be boarded or be destroyed.
This ship was searched upon landing. Just tell them that. There is no contraband on board.
I flip the comms open and say, "Hey, look, I don't want to cause any problems here, but one of the ATC guys said you were a pussy, and that if you showed your face around flight control, he would punch you dead in the nose." Now, I'm just talking about myself, but I wouldn't take that lying down. I'd go down there and I'd teach him who's boss. Click. They don't expect us to act rationally. Why should we start now? This is all the stuff I never got to do when I was captaining ships in the Navy. So,
okay. They doing their own overalls. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So they know where they're going. It's just a matter of organizing themselves to go there in an efficient manner. It appears their navigator is better than their pilot. So you see the ship turn around a wee bit. It's a bit rough. And yes, now the ship was examined and cleared out on landing, but of course 3 or 4 weeks have gone by.
Oh, of course.
And lots
Anything
of other
to throw
people have
doubt
been
at
on that. And this is just me talking, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could say it's Benjo or whatever. Is that 3 or 4 weeks have gone by, and lots of other people have been on board the ship to overhaul it, and very likely Ballard and his buddies were on it too. They probably stepped on board at some point and bribed their way on board so that they could get the lien against the ship and so on.
Okay.
So we should search the ship for contraband, is what I'm hearing.
It would seem prudent. I mean, at the moment, you're just flying in a straight line at 1G. So, as long as there's somebody at the comms and on the radar, keeping an eye out for things, you're all right for the next hour or so.
Well, I'll search the gold boxes since I'm down there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you head on down to the payload bay, and you find that there's still all the ration packs and all the rest that there were before. The gold boxes that you had, that's in your personal possession. That wasn't down the payload bay. The 3 AI boxes that you dumped at that other world and took off on the top of and thought that you vaporized, along with Ballard's convict mates, those are there, strapped in.
So alive or charred husk?
Oh, if they had time to get themselves away, they grabbed those and walked with them too.
So I just found 3 living people and
No.
No.
The guys are dead. You killed them. They're dead back
okay.
on Gibson. But remember when you took off from sorry,
The cargo that they had that we thought we left behind and destroyed has been placed back on board the ship.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You've just taken off from Lever. I've stuffed up the worlds. So you've just taken off from Lever. So you originally landed on Gibson. You guys took off from Lever just now. Gibson was the world with Border Town and so on, and that's where you had the run-in with the nomads and the run-in with Ballard with his pawn shop and all the rest. So remember that on Gibson you had left. There had been the 2 convicts that were frozen in the ship, and you unfroze them and then chucked them out of the ship, and chucked the AI boxes out of the ship, and then just took off from a beach. And then you flew off to Lever, and Ballard and his mates followed you. And you were surprised that his mates were still alive because you'd plumed the area, or you'd blasted off from there anyway. But evidently they saved themselves. It appears that in the process of saving themselves, they also saved the AI, the boxes of AI.
I'm going to call the doctor down to the cargo deck. Hey, I have a crazy question. Is that what I think that is?
She said, "Yes, that is."
Did you have anything to do with that?
She says, "Me? No."
Okay.
And she does look genuinely surprised.
Okay.
Of course, she's a good actor. But...
Well, either way. Okay, that's excellent. Oh, God. 1G is killing me. Hey, could somebody who's not shot or stabbed please take this thing to an airlock and dump it out? I'm really getting sick of artificial intelligence machine popping up on our ship.
Is there any way I could, I don't know, take the AI stuff and throw it in the reactor?
No, you're better off just chucking it out.
If you voice that, the only thing I'm going to say is, do you want a Marvel Comics supervillain? Because that's how you get a Marvel Comics supervillain.
Exactly. I want to come out of that reactor as like Leatherface or something.
I don't want MODOK, man. I don't want MODOK. I don't want the Mad Thinker or the Supreme Intellect. I just want it off my goddamn ship.
And Benjo points out, he says, it occurs to me, those Helderman guys actually invaded Lever because they wanted access to the higher technology to help them in their war back home. On Helderman, they're probably quite keen on this too.
Guys,
we should actively destroy this or hang on to it till we can.
And Benjo says, we could either sell it to them, or if we just toss it out the airlock, then maybe they'll stop pursuing us. And Jaquel says, we shouldn't toss it out the airlock.
Okay, both of you, do me a favor and shut up. Okay, I know you were, and I'm pointing at her with a hand that is still like bloody because most of it my own. I know you were in the room, but were you here when I had the dad talk with everybody about why we don't handle artificially intelligent machines?
Yeah, I was, says Benjo, but refresh me.
Excellent. Okay. We could hop from system to system and become a merry band of serial killers. We could foment insurrections. We could crash economic systems. We could atom bomb orphanages. And all it's going to get for us is very hard labor in very unpleasant conditions. But we'd still be alive. There are two things that they will straight up give us the death penalty for. One of them is flying low and slow over a city with our engine nozzle and turning the entire place into radioactive glass. The other is this. I've never contemplated destroying a city with a ship's exhaust, even when I was in the Navy and even when we were at war and I was over enemy planets. It has never even crossed into my head. So I have been as far from 50% of the death penalty crimes as I could be. This is the other 50% of the death penalty crimes, and it's right here beside me, and I don't like it. We are throwing this shit off of my ship right now.
Alert, missiles inbound.
For Christ's sake.
Missiles inbound. You guys need to strap in hygiene maneuvers.
All right. I'll hobble to my bunk and strap in.
Alrighty. No, that's not what I want.
I'll keep the stuff in my lap and strap in.
I'll strap in, but is there any shields or anything else like that that we can activate?
I think the best we can do is flip and fire our forward guns at it while we're still going backwards.
You have 3 lasers. That's your guns. 3 lasers.
Right, and they're in the nose.
Mm-hmm.
They're
they're along the sides.
well, they fire forward, correct?
Well, they've only got about 10 degrees range of movement, but I mean, your ship has infinite range of movement.
Right, I understand. What I'm saying is,
But usually what you do is, I mean, so they're mainly for point defense, unless you're quite close. But usually what you do is you flip around and you fire one, you flip, you fire another, you flip and fire the next. And then by that time, the first one is cooled down and ready to go again.
right.
In the meantime, everyone on the side is going, and we find out who gets motion sickness.
So we're barrel rolling, huh?
Yep.
Then better strap in then.
Yeah, so you strap in. Okay, now you could disable it, but to help you tolerate the IG maneuvers and the motion sickness from barrel rolling and stuff, you can get the juice. The juice, however, it's not so good for people with low endurance.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on the juice right now.
You're just going to strap yourself in the bunk then?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so incoming missiles. So you get 2 rounds of laser fire, 1 lot of shots at them when they're distant, and another lot of shots when they're closer. You've got 6 missiles coming inbound.
Alrighty.
So who's a gunnery officer?
Is passed out in his bunk.
No, but you've got a second.
Yes.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so you got Ricky. Sorry, Linda Zhao.
No, you're fine.
Ricky's back.
All right, I'll take over gunnery. What have I got to do?
Roll the dice.
Sure. 2d6, right?
Yep, 2d6 plus your gunnery skill.
You shit. Well, that's a 5, and I have gunnery 1.
Yeah, so that's 6. So that's 1 missile that's going to come through. So in the first round, anyway. First rounds. So 6. All right, so you've still got 6. Okay, make another 2 rolls.
Yep. Let's see how it goes. That's better. That's a 10 plus 1 is 11.
Okay, so you get 1 down.
And that's a 7 plus 1 is 8.
And that's a second down. All right, so 2 of the 6 missiles are down. The illustration's a bit inaccurate, but it's the best I could come up with at short notice. Alrighty, so in this second round, they're a bit closer, so you only need to get 7 or more.
Okie dokie. 3 more, right?
Yep.
1 missile down with an 8. That's a miss. And that's another missile down with a 9.
Okay, so two of the 6 missiles go through with the volley. All right. So you're burning that way, you turned around, and then you're just barrel rolling around, turn around about 90 degrees to where you're going, still traveling the same way. You're just barrel rolling, zam, lam, lam. Okay, now the hit location. Okay, first hit, 6 on the hull. And the second hit, 5 on the computer. It's not as big a deal on this one. Okay. So, hit on the hull. Where along the hull? Amidships. Let's see. Now, let's share that screen. Oh, that's not on. Okay. So just below the top airlock there. Boom. So level 4, the payload bay. So the payload bay hull is ruptured and is venting out air out into space. All the safety doors, clunk in between. Yeah, so they go clunk, clunk in between. You guys, I assume you're not idiots, so we'll just wave it up that you are in your suits. Certainly, if you're getting the juice, you're in your suits in case the place gets evacuated. Okay, and then the second shot was at the computer. So that is, let me see, where are we? The computer stuff in the avionics array up there. So the computer is damaged. Okay, so it's going to make you're going to have a -1 to your navigation and your shooting and so on, because that's damaged. Okay.
Hey, we're not drifting metal confetti. Nice shooting, Linda.
Sorry I missed. I need to practice more.
Well, let's hope you get plenty of opportunities, but not today.
Future opportunities, yes.
I'll buy you an entire roll of tokens at the arcade next time we're dirt side.
Okay, Benjo turns the ship around forward and starts burning forward. He says they'll be reloading their missiles.
Anything we can do on our end?
Pray.
Go harder, he says. Pull some extra G's. Because he's still just pulling 1 G at the moment. Can pull extra G's, Captain?
Yeah, make it so.
Okay. He goes, boom, up to 6 G's. You guys get a big wallop of juice. Okay, make a saving throw. So those who are injured, make a saving throw.
I get a big wallop of unconsciousness.
Well, I know I'm out.
Oh yeah, I am unconscious with pain.
So who gives orders in captain's stead? It's not Bubba. No offense.
Well, Bubba needs to roll to see if he's conscious. Is he out? Is he out?
You're muted. You're muted there, Bubba. Let me see if I can unmute him. Can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute the. Oh.
Who
I'll
dropped?
make it.
Well, there's the captain, the pilot, and the navigator. That's the usual thing. The pilot is an NPC, so he defers to the navigator.
Okay.
Am I in the room?
Yeah, I'm
Jane
here.
Arquette. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you're in
So
charge,
that's your
Captain.
turn. All right. So you're pulling 6 Gs. Pulling 6 Gs to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
To get a bit of extra distance between you and the torpedoes that will naturally be coming up your way soon.
Yep.
And the message comes through on the type beam once again, saying, power down your engines, stand by, prepare to be boarded.
Mayday, mayday, we're under attack by pirates, mayday. This is the Beowulf, under attack by pirates.
Lost our number 1 turret.
Honestly, I don't think that'd be a bad idea.
What be a bad idea? Go mayday, mayday.
Yeah, but literally just that. See if some idiot shows up and tries to rescue us like Prince Charming. It'd be great.
Maybe there was a Union warship hiding out there.
Maybe.
Okay, Kinder, roll a 1d6.
Okay.
It's Kinder, sorry. So Gary, roll 1d6. So
1d6
the players
high.
who are unable to participate can participate in the rest of the universe's events.
1.
1, okay. You only have 1 combat round and to deal with, and then it will be safe to jump.
Oh, good Lord.
That could have been 6.
Yeah.
I guess that's good that you did a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice it came out of the rain, out of play now, so I don't have to worry about it later, I hope.
Okay, a second volley of missiles comes at you. Another 6.
All right. This is why I love having color-coded dice. Okay. Well, that's shit. That's good. And that's good. Okay. That's a 10, a 7, and a 5.
Okay, so you take out one of them.
I roll
and
3
that was
more
without
7
minus
pluses.
ones. So that should have been a 9, a 6, and a 4.
Yeah, it doesn't change the result.
Okay.
And now you just need 7.
Okay. So round 2 hits.
Okay.
Now I just need 7.
Yeah.
All right.
We
Well,
need 8s or better.
yeah. Well, I get a +1, so the -1 counteracts the +1. So I just need to roll
Okay,
7.
cool.
That's death. So I knock 1 out. I knock 2 out. And nope.
Oh, so this time 3 get through. All right.
Oh, we are proper fucked.
Sorry.
Yep.
No, that's the That's the game. Some days
Hey,
you get the. Someday the bear gets.
Okay.
Bubba is going out the way he always wanted to, in bed with his bedazzled flip-flops on.
Exactly.
I think I'm in the safest part of the ship, so I'm good.
Okay. One of the laser turrets is down.
That's fine. That's okay.
Could be worse.
Okay. Now, one of the torpedoes goes right into the payload hull, and it doesn't it goes right through the hole that it's already made, and it doesn't detonate, but it goes flying through. And and damages the other side. So, yeah.
Isn't 2 strikes on the same location mean like total destruction for that location or whatever?
Pretty much, but I mean, if there's cargo in there, then that wrecks it. And the last one, 8. So yeah, it's the hold again. Yeah,
Our ship just broke in half at that point.
No.
Just
Don't
about.
wish us to be broken half.
So you've just got the superstructure of the ship. You've got the bones of the ship holding it together. It's wrecked through the middle. If they were actually trying to target the AI, they couldn't have done better.
Aren't we glad
Well, maybe
we
that
spent
was
like
the AI.
35 million fixing this or whatever?
Maybe that was the AI saving you. It was drawing the missile. All right, and then you go jump.
Damn it, I've got a lot of work ahead of me.
And the
Yes.
ship gets torn apart.
Everybody start drinking beer. We're going to need a hell of a lot of aluminum cans.
All right, so you're in jump for a week.
Okay.
So I'm going to do what repairs I can.
Yeah. Yeah. So where's the?
I do have electronics 1, if that will be of help.
I have electronics too.
Awesome.
Electronics also.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, not the number 2, but an also.
No, actually, I think she has electronics 2 as well.
Oh, yes, I do have electronics too as
Oh,
well.
well.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
playing
Both
semantics game.
TO and TWO. No,
We've
TOO.
got a Radio Shack and a Circuit City on board. That's awesome.
Who are you kidding? I'm like a gas station that sells batteries.
Hey, you've got the earbuds.
Yeah, right. I'm dollar store earbuds. Oh God.
And the universal phone adapter.
All righty. So you have got. So just to let you know, what part's been damaged. Okay. So where you're at. So number 4, the payload bay, is just toast. It's just wrecked. And there's some damage to the avionics array, which is number 2 in that area. And then for reference, number 6, the main deck, is where you guys hang out. And then number 5, there's the support deck. So
Johnny 5.
so a little bit of
Alive.
a little bit of a struggle to get up there to number 3. You know, you're going to have to suit up every time you want to go through. Have to do do a lot of EVAs and stuff. But you know, I mean, it could be worse. You know, you could have blown out the support deck and be spending a week in jump in your vac suits.
True.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Tasty, tasty vac suits.
So you said it's how long to heal up, Kyle?
Normally 1 point a day you heal up.
Okay.
So the average person, if it doesn't kill you, will be healed up in 3 weeks. But yeah, so you'll heal 7 points and spread them as you wish. Spread them as you wish, I don't mind.
All right. I'm gonna once I'm conscious and feeling up to it, I'll suit up and make my way to what's left of the cargo deck, the superstructure exposed to space, formerly known as the cargo deck. We lost all of our money, didn't we?
Yeah.
Except for
Aw,
what was in our
man.
bags and what was in my
No,
lap.
because I specifically said that because Ricky had asked, like about gold down in the cargo bay and that, and I said no, that was on your persons. That's in your cabins.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Phew.
So the
down in
boxes with the AI in it, those are
they're
toast.
gone. They're gone. the AI is gone, unless the AI is grey slime or the old black slime. I hate that in the sci-fi. So it's not that. I promise you.
Okay.
My word of honor as a game master, it is not black slime, because it's my personal hate in sci-fi that they just do black slime nanobots to explain everything. It's we've got tired of doing science. We're going to do some magic now. So, no, I hate that. This AI was solid state electronics. It was solid electronics, and it's gone. Whether it was destroyed or it was just blown away by the force of the explosion and is out there spinning somewhere in Gibson space, I don't know, but it's gone.
It is no longer our problem.
Yes.
Exactly. It's off the ship, just like you wanted.
And we got it, and we have a nice breezeway, so it's a win-win, really.
Right. Very, very, very good.
Your unbridled optimism, Bubba, is the light that shines through on a cloudy day.
I thought that was the buck teeth print they left on the window.
Well, fortunately, that window was shot away also, so Well, this is going to take a few credits to fix. Let's make our way to Le Guin carefully, slowly.
Yeah.
And if anybody asks, this was a road rage incident.
Hey,
So-
Captain, as far as we know, the bad guys back here shooting at us, they could have scooped up that AI. Don't we need to inform the authorities that the
Jesus,
the
no.
idiots back here have
No.
possession
Oh.
of an
No.
AI?
We
No.
were carrying some AI and they took it off us.
Yeah.
My drug
So-
dealer stole my coat.
We were
Well,
running.
no, we leave that part off. We just say, hey, and by the way, they have
Let's-
an AI.
No. I'm sorry. Normally, I'm very willing to hear discussions. I'm very willing to hear suggestions. We are not mentioning the goddamn AI ever again. All right. If the letters A and I appear next to each other in a word, pick a different word. We're not telling
Don't ask
any.
Bubba to do that. He'll be here all year.
Well, then
Hey.
how am I supposed to say special? Do I just say special?
Yeah, Speffel.
Yeah, Speckle. That's good. Speckle.
That's fine. Do whatever you.
Nobody plays Scrabble with the captain.
Nobody plays.
All the A's and all the I's are gone from the Scrabble game.
Yes.
And it never even, like came alive and tried to eat you or anything like that.
And it never will. It never will. All right.
Anyway.
So,
Okay, so you spend a week in jump, and you can do some minor repairs while you're doing so. That's very much a mechanics and electronics thing. So your girl power team can be out there repairing things as best they can, and basically it's just trying to make sure that the skeleton of the ship holds together. And it pretty much does. It's a pretty solid skeleton, but it just had a thin skin because it doesn't need a really heavy one. There's not much point in doing armor when, just the missile can hit you at 10 kilometers a second or something. So, so the skeleton's pretty solid. But you'll still want to go through and check it. You can spend most of the week doing that. Those who are not mechanics or electricians and so on, what you're going to be doing during the weekend jump, if anything? Healing, I guess, from the captain and Bubba.
Definitely.
Quinda.
Yep. Yep. All right. All right. So we can wave over that week then. And you emerge out of jump in the Le Guin system. Now, the Le Guin system, the first 3 orbits have got, okay, so the Le Guin system has got a sun about a third the size of our sun. It's got 3 uninhabitable rocks, 3 airless rocks, and then rocky ice world. And then the 6th world is the main world of Le Guin itself. Its stats. Let me see. Those are its stats I've posted. It'll come out as Bill's post, but it's actually mine. Those are its stats. It's got a naval base and it's a non-industrial world. It's only got a population of 6,500. It's got a 172-hour day, about a third of a gravity, and it's about half atmospheric pressure.
Oh, cool. So we need half atmospheric pressure. We need suits.
No, you don't need suits. It's only half atmospheric pressure. It's not like, you just need normal clothes. It's a bit cold, but it's all right.
Well,
it's run by Gibson because it's only 6,500 people.
Well, the most important question that needs to be asked is, do they have a honky tonk?
Well, you don't know. You have to get there and find out. It'll have a downpour, no doubt, but it's only got 6,500 people. But more significantly is the upport, the naval base, HMS Krober. And as I said, it's a naval base. So you see there's a few system defense boats. You can see, so you emerge far out beyond the orbit of the main world. And you can see it's going to be about a week's burn to get there at like a quarter gravity. You can see that even from that distance, there's a couple of system defense boats floating around, and there will no doubt be a couple of starships docked with the upport. The upport will certainly be able to repair you. But you don't want to land on the world with your hull, with the middle of your ship blown away. The entry into the atmosphere will tear it apart.
And will the Navy be interested in what the Helderman people are doing over there?
Especially they're always interested in when worlds fight amongst themselves. They're all supposed to be part of the same Commonwealth. I mean, they will know by now that there is a war and so on, but exactly what's going on with it, they won't know all the details.
Especially when they're interfering with interstellar trade.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you guys doing?
I'm recovering.
I'm still frantically trying to fix stuff.
I'm teaming up with her.
Yep.
Bubba's recovering and making a brand new pair of bedazzled flip-flops for the special occasion.
Everyone needs a hobby, I guess.
Yeah, you need a backup one. Very good idea.
So, thoughts for the party. What do we do for work now? Are we going to try and find work here once repairs have been done, or what?
No, I very seriously doubt if there's anything we can, any work we could pick up in a place like this. This is a way station.
And we probably want to get farther beyond, too.
Well, if anybody has any cargo they want carried.
There could be some hitchhikers we could pick up for some spare change.
That sounds like a really great idea.
Well, if we're being honest, Bubba, you remember we got dumped out on the ass end of some nowhere system, but for all of this, we'd still be kicking around waiting for a transport to come by. So I can't believe I'm about to say this. Maybe somebody gave me too many painkillers, but that's a pretty good idea, actually.
I mean, it's about all we're fit for right now.
Once we get repaired, we'll still have a cargo bay.
Right.
And the new observation deck, which is what we could call the cargo bay right now, would be a plus. We could charge extra for that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You guys are the hosts. I'm busy here.
Well, let's get there and get repaired as much as we can before we make any command decisions on,
And I'd also like to see if there's any personal equipment we could acquire. I mean, I got the clothes on my back, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, we've all got an even share of the gold, so as far as I'm concerned, any out-of-pocket expenses, we should, all of us should be more than able to afford.
Is it possible here? I guess maybe not, but maybe could they change out the transponder at this naval base so we could have a new?
No, that's completely
that I
illegal.
can pronounce.
Yeah.
Well, we could register we could change our name. I mean, ships change their names all the time. Just
Yes.
Just do it in the paperwork.
Yeah, it's just that your former name will be recorded.
Why not?
Well, what I've got some ideas for names.
Yeah, we went through it. Didn't we decide we were going to do a poll? Did we ever get the poll results?
I did not see any poll results myself, and I apologize for that. You know what? I'll consult your out of character, Todd. I'll consult your list, and I'll put a poll on the YouTube channel, and our audience can vote, and we'll see what they want to call this. And no, Shippy McShipface is not one of the options. So,
well,
was that one of the ones we recommended? I don't know. Remember?
No. Although that is a good one.
It's
yeah, not really.
Skippy the Red Rocket.
That's a kid show.
my three personal favorites is the War Canoe, the Rubber Ducky, and the Ghetto Fabulous.
I'm partial to War Canoe. If you put a gun to my head and said you have to pick something,
and here I was thinking Space Needle.
And I like the Rubber Ducky. That's cute.
right?
So we're going for the cute factor, huh?
Anyway, what do we have to do to get landed? Fearless Game Master.
You just radio ahead and tell them that you're coming in, and then they'll tell you which ones to dock at and all the rest. Yeah.
So it's kind of like an airport.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's a ship?
Yep.
No, that's the station.
Oh, but they call it
That's the naval station. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So naval stations. I don't know about in the United States, but in Commonwealth countries, naval stations are
Looks like a big old wheel.
Like there's a naval base called HMS Cerberus.
Her Majesty's Service.
That is a fascinating bit of information. I didn't know that. We actually
Her Majesty or His Majesty's station instead of ship.
Right. We actually had a ship here in Orlando. It was a training vessel. It was the USS Blue Jacket, and it was about the size of a frigate, and it was completely landlocked. It was made. It was a build, but
San
it was.
Diego has a USS Recruit. Same thing.
Yeah, it was basically used for training.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Down here where I am, we just got John boats.
just gotcha. All right, so we'll pull in, and I'm sure it's like that scene in Star Trek 3 when everybody's watching the Enterprise limp into the starbase there with all the holes in it as we find a place to sit down.
Yeah, you come in and there's like little bits of ragged, blackened metal and sparks arcing across your ship.
Hey, I should have taken care of that.
You've been trying to. You dealt with the bigger sparks first.
Oh, darn it. The masking tape came off.
Yep.
The welds, come on, the welds held.
Dang it, Tammy, I told you to use duct tape.
You've got the wrong kind of
That's
WD-40
right.
for vacuum.
You got that dollar store knockoff brand, man.
Why do I feel like our ship looks like the car from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles at the end where John says, oddly enough, the radio still works.
Because
it was spelled D-Y-C-K, not D-U-C-T.
Oh, God.
DAC tape. What the hell?
You okay back there, Dak? Dak!
All right, so you pull in to one of the docks, and you dock. Make a piloting roll to make it nice and smooth.
Oh, God.
That's you, Tammy.
You wouldn't normally need to, but, you know.
No, Tammy's I'm sorry, Tammy was a navigator. My apologies.
Yes.
That's me.
Anyone can roll for the NPC. I'm not going to. I don't make rolls that mine.
Okay, I got an 8.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So plunk, and he docks, and then from the side of the dock there extends an airlock. It's like a concertina airlock, exactly like the ones they've got on for aircraft. You know, those ones. The ones
A jetway. A jetway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly like that, except it's so it goes to your airlock, which doesn't necessarily help you guys because the airlock deck is up the top, and so it's you would have to go through your vacuum area of the cargo bay because you're in the bottom third of the ship, and then there's the middle third that's the cargo bay that's gone. And then there's the top third that's the airlock and the avionics and stuff. So it doesn't necessarily help you, but that's just what they do. They just automatically do that.
Well, let's get our suits on and go up there so we can get out of this thing and start getting some repairs set up.
Yeah.
Do we have enough air suits for everybody, though?
Yes, you do. You do. That's one of the basic things an overhaul makes sure of. They may or may not be the best vac suits out there. But yeah, everyone on board has to have vac suits, just like everyone on board has to have a life vest on a sea ship.
Well, actually, they have enough and one extra.
Yeah.
And you also have to have a throwable.
Okay. I'm not sure about a throwable spacesuit, but yeah.
Bob, put this on.
Water wings. This is what you call space wings right here.
I like the idea of the space escape pod that has floated around a couple of times. I believe in serious proposals as well as in sci-fi stories of just basically a big balloon when you're like a big beach ball and you jump inside it and it inflates and then you sit inside it and hope that somebody comes and rescues you soon.
Yeah, and if you make it out of
a space raft, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it beats the alternative.
It does. It'd have to be very well insulated though, because you're outside. There's like 3 Kelvin space outside. There's 270 degrees Celsius or Kelvin of difference between you and what's outside. So it'd be getting cold pretty damn quickly.
Maybe there's the industrial version of the hand warmers. You crush the bag and it keeps the whole thing hot for a while.
Maybe 270 degrees though. That's an oven. Like there's an episode of the Lost in Space recent TV series where the only way to escape these rampaging robots is to get out into the vacuum of space, but we don't have spacesuits. And the guy's like, "Oh, that's all right. You just jump in the freezer." There's a meat freezer. You just chuck the meat out and jump yourselves in, and that'll insulate you from the freezing cold of space. And they go, "Are you sure we'll be safe here, though?" And he explains that yes, they will be safe because yes, they will be safe because he's previously smuggled meat and stuff in them, so it'll be okay. So
I want one of those freezers then, because damn.
Yeah. He says, you'll be okay for like 20 or 30 minutes, and then, so they come out and they're frostbitten and stuff, but they're alive.
As I said,
So they're missing their
30
fingers, toes, and nose, huh?
Yeah. All right. So you suit up, you go through to the airlock deck, and then you go through the airlock, the jetway or the spaceway. I don't know what they would call it in this period. And you go through, you cycle through. They do a bit of a decontamination where they're like blowing off dust and all the rest. And the green light comes on, with a little thing saying, helmets off. And the airlock door opens, and there's a guy in Commonwealth Navy suit, a lieutenant, and he says, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your ship's looking a bit the worse for wear."
We bumped somebody in the parking lot. Don't worry, we traded information. It's fine.
Well, he's saying there with a clipboard, and he asks you your business when you're coming on.
Repairs and see if we can pick up some light work, passengers, light cargo, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. The sound's a bit funny on your end there, Bill.
Sorry about that. I was leaning away from the mic. Repairs, and we're looking to see if we can pick up some light work, maybe some cargo hauling or people hauling.
After we get the observation deck fixed, of course.
Yep, fair enough, he says. Very well. Well, he says, here's a little guide to the station. Obviously, there are some parts that you can't go to as civilians, and he shows you. You see, there's a couple of bars, there's a store, there's a hostel, there's a pawn shop. If you're really hard pressed, there's personal sleeping pods, a little coffin hotel kind of thing.
Okay.
They do ship repairs here, and of course you can get fuel, reaction mass, and there's a warehouse.
Is there a storage space where we could get out of our spacesuits and store them somewhere here before? Or do we have to walk around in our
there's terminal lockers. There's terminal lockers.
All right.
It's exactly the same as it is nowadays, like a train station locker. You just got the big thing, and you put in a little code, pay your credits.
And where's equipment stores?
The purchase, you mean? Is it?
Yes,
shopping. Yeah. Well, he says there's a general store, and he shows you a map. So, like, this is a big spinning station, and so the map looks like that. It's a big log thing like that, except it joins at the end. At one side, it says, "Now look to the right of the map." So, so there's a big store. What are you after buying? So you guys have got the equivalent of now it's 180,000 credits.
Okay.
That's the total wealth. That's the total party wealth. Individual credits is another matter, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've still got 99% of my retirement funds.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I haven't spent anything, so.
Yep. So I will. What is the best accommodations we can get on the station?
There's a very good motel.
Then I'm going to the motel.
Yep.
I mean, I realize on a station like this, that might be like a 3 meter by 4 meter room, but
It's a coffin.
It
Hotel.
it beats an actual capsule. So
Yeah, it's a little space to yourself. Yeah, and it is, as you said, a 3 by 3 meter room.
all right,
Hey,
everybody.
Captain,
What?
get a double, and me and you can bunk.
I snore so bad. I keep it. I would. You know what? No.
And because and since you are by far my favorite Navy person, I made you these. And Bubba hands you a pair of bedazzled flip flops.
I will wear these on the beach of the first tropical world with a warm tropical atmosphere we settle on, Bubba, and that is a promise. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you.
See, that's the beauty of these bedazzled fancy shoes. You ain't got to wear them on the beach. They're all purpose. You can wear them everywhere.
Fair enough. I'm going to. I'm assuming we've hung our pack suits up in our storage lockers. I'm going to doff my shoes and I'm going to put on my bedazzled flip flops
and just so you know, the bedazzled spells out captain.
When I see that, I'm gonna scream twinsies.
I have the best crew in this entire sector. Thank you. Seriously, I'm getting a hotel room by myself, big guy.
Well, see, they got a room adjoining.
I'll ask at the main desk. I want him in a different part of the station.
The beauty of the station, you're never going to be far from your crew. And never more than about 500 meters away from your crew.
No, I'm thinking, Bubba, these should be like a team thing, like jersey. Everybody.
Oh, absolutely. I'm working on everybody else's too.
Can I get bedazzled Birkenstocks instead?
No, you're getting bedazzled flip flops and you're liking it.
God damn it.
I thought she was more of a Doc Martin girl.
All right. Look, we've had a rough 36 hours or so. Let's find the canteen for first round.
Damien wants to know, is Bubba the type of man that wears flip-flops with socks?
No, I am not a heathen. No, I don't.
But that's an important question to ask.
It is, but no, I am not a heathen. I put sugar in my tea for sweet tea, and I wear my flip-flops barefoot, so as God intended.
Well, that whole between the toes thing, that's why I don't like flip-flops.
Oh, I like the toe thong.
Everybody,
That's just wrong.
yeah.
See, that's why I don't like flip flops. Is they hurt my toes. That's why I take the Birkenstocks.
Okay. All right. So you guys find accommodation. So you get told. So repairs on the ship. So the hull repairs. Okay. The hull repair is going to cost you 100,000, and the computer repair is going to cost 150,000.
And we had how much total? 180,000.
180, yeah.
180. We're all going to have to pitch in on this, guys. Give till it hurts, or else it will.
Well, the hull repair is compulsory because you can't go around with this hull that might fall apart.
Yeah.
Particularly on landing. The computer repair can be delayed a little bit because at the moment it gives you -1 to all the flight and all the rest.
How much are we shy to fix both?
Well, that's 250 together, and you've got 180K in party funds, so that's 70.
Well, I can pitch in my 20,000 in retirement fund.
Oh, don't throw all of it in, man. I've got good Lord, I've still got. Hang on a second.
I've got jack and shit.
I'm still sitting on like 70K credits, dude. So we're looking at 250,000. We have 180,000.
Yep.
We need 70. So
How many are of us there? 6?
Yep.
So 70
everybody
divided by
puts in
6.
15. That should be enough.
If
That actually
everybody
gives a
put
little
what?
extra. 15K.
Yeah, I can chip in 15K.
Metagame question for the party because I apparently missed it. How much money were we all doled out then? Because I have literally jack.
It's
and
part of
shit.
your when you muster out, when you do your mustering out rolls.
You may or may not get
you can either get money, you can get items, or whatever.
Yeah, I have $1 grand.
Yeah, so you obviously just got rolled up $1 grand.
Okay.
You don't
I can kick in 20 then.
Yeah, in or out of character to you there, TK. You don't pitch in anything. I'm not gonna put you over a barrel for ship repairs. You didn't shoot us. Hell, it should be those religious whack jobs.
Though he is the one that missed a few times that caused the damage. I'm just saying.
Let's not go around.
But he hit a few times to prevent more damage.
He's why we're not brightly shining confetti floating between two gas giants one system over.
Yeah.
I mean, I can chip in 15, so.
Yeah, I can kick in 20.
I can kick in 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll kick in 15.
Yeah, I'm in for 15. Actually, I'm in for 20. You only kick in 10, Bubba.
Woo!
You've only got
think of all the flip-flops I can buy with that.
Okay, you guys sort out your personal finances, and I'll assume it's all paid for.
And then I want to do some personal shopping.
Yeah, but Bubba does too. We need some guns and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And they advise that the repairs will take just a week.
Very good.
Hey, and if we go to the bar, I'll stand up on the table, get everybody's attention, and do a little sales pitch to get us some cargo and maybe some hitchhikers.
Before you do that, let's check and see if there's a hiring board, like an electronic message board green bar printouts pinned up somewhere. Then we'll go to the carnival barker thing if we have to.
Oh, because I worked on these commemorative bedazzled flip-flops for the first hitchhikers.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely okay. And you could still give them to them, but if there's just an easier way to do it, let's always go the easier route. Never run when you can walk, kind of thing. So, what do you say, Mr. Game Master? Is there any of the things that I mentioned?
Let's see if there's any room on board. I haven't really considered your cabin sizes as yet.
Well, they could use my cabin. I'll just double up with the captain.
Oh, that's entirely unnecessary.
I don't know. He's not feeling the love there.
Bubba is unloved.
Okay, so Heinleins come standard with 2 full-size crew cabins. Both cabins are equipped with 2 pairs of bunks, i.e. holds 4 in all, built into the walls with drop-down privacy shutters. Inside is a storage locker for basic clothing, a music player, and so on. The cabin's doors are rollback panels that open up virtually the entire wall. During off-duty time, both doors are typically open to create a social area for the crew to relax in. So they look like...
So it looks like 8 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we actually are full.
Yeah.
We have no room to carry passengers.
Yeah. Now, remember, you've got the...
That's what I was about to say. We have. What if we put them in freeze?
Yeah, so there's the cold sleep tubes. You've got 3 cold sleep tubes. So that's what your cabins look like. Okay, and that leads onto the galley area in the middle. So you've got your 3 cold sleep tubes. You can offer them up, or you can rip them out, sell them, and then get that converted to another 4 bunk cabin.
Hey, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with that. And if the shipyard will do it basically as an even... Well, wait, will we get... Yeah, what's the cost? Well, what are we going to make for selling the cryo tubes? Let me ask you that.
Okay, so...
Part of me wants to keep a cryo tube, but that's just in case we have a prisoner or something we need to transport and we don't want to guard him.
Well, we could just tie them up and knock them out whenever they come to, knock them out again. So
yeah. We got the Scissor Sisters here with their syringes full of magic sleep juice.
Well, yeah. See, that's the great thing about travel. You could just do like 1 point of damage or whatever and keep them unconscious. You don't have to worry about long-term damage or anything like that.
and if they give us too much trouble, we could just trussle them up there on top like a deer in hunting season.
Yep. Now, I'm pretty sure there are a million the things.
I'm sorry. They're what?
They're what?
Yeah, they're quite a. I mean, the standard ship costs are insane.
Well, then, I think we're selling some cryo tubes.
No, hang on. Low passage. No, sorry, I'm wrong. It costs $50,000 to install low passage berth and displaces half a ton. So they're 150,000 new. So you should be able to get half back and get 75,000.
Excellent.
And we've got how many?
You've got 3. Yeah.
Oh, so that completely and totally pays for the repairs then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like if you just rip them out and have an empty room where 3 is on the screen, that's labeled as a conference room. In fact, on this particular ship, it's the low berth room, right next door to the lavatory, the bathroom shower area. But Yeah, so you could just rip it out and just have an empty room and be 75,000 up, or you can have it installed as cabins. And
How much would it be to install the cabins?
well, cabins are usually a fair bit. Like a stateroom, a stateroom costs a couple of $100,000, but that's just like an individual room. But you can have the equivalent of what you've already got for 75,000.
I think just standard berthing accommodations are. Yeah,
Because, I mean,
nobody.
that's not going to cost terribly much to do that.
Yeah, nobody expects us to be a luxury liner, so we'll bank 150K and throw down 75 large to get the standard. Yeah, I'm sorry, you said a 3-person, 4-person berth. 4. Okay. All right. So we can potentially take 4 passengers on. And again, I'm checking the resources.
Okay.
Pardon?
Bill, just remind me, Bill, later to, or you guys remind me in Discord to change the text of the PDF so it says that there's another cabin there.
Right.
Okay. So.
I will endeavor not to forget.
Do we ever get? Do we want to do personal shopping this round, or wait till another date?
Oh, I don't mind if we do personal shopping now.
Yeah. I mean, I've already made my list, so just whether it's available or not is the question.
And you checked it twice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down to go to the Space JC Penney's.
I prefer Sears myself.
Or the Space Walmart.
Yeah, well, you can overlap activities. Like in a single week, a band of adventurers may elect to devote their time, well, you don't have to devote it 100% of the time, but to encountering a patron. They may frequent bars, taverns, clubs, perhaps the Traveller's Aid building or any other likely places. 1 throw is allowed for the entire band. A result of 5 or 6 on 1 die indicates a likely patron has been found. And then we throw to determine the type of patron and what they wanted you to do. You could do that the same time as shopping during the week and that. You don't have to spend all day in the bar like Barney from The Simpsons.
Would it help? I don't really have any shopping I'd like to do because as long as I have a gun in my suit, I'm fine. And my knife. But would there be any bonus to me doing the bar crawling while they're doing it?
Well, basically. No, not really. I mean, as long as half of you are doing it.
Yeah, because I was gonna see if I couldn't rustle up some hitchhikers at the bar.
I'm going to see if there's a patron out there that may want to hire us as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, that's what I was thinking. Was looking for a patron.
Yeah, patron, hitchhiker, same thing.
I'm looking for supplies to replace what I used on the repairs.
Yep, that's right. That's just part of the cost of repairs.
Oh, okay.
They replace the sundries.
Replace it with the real duct tape, not the artificial pseudo stuff.
Well, you know, since Razor is a fellow ex-Marine, if he could just get 2 or whatever, and then I'll split it with him, and then that way he could handle the shop, and then me and man, what is your name? Lisa? Ricky?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Now I have to look. Linda.
I knew it started with an L. And me and Linda can go carousing to get a patron. And the captain can go sit all by his little lonesome up there in his bedazzled flip-flops in his hotel room.
We can enjoy his mini vacation.
I am. Is this basically just like a 3 hots and a cot kind of place, Kyle, or are there any amenities to it or anything?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yep.
Okay. All right, then I will be in the bar since I'm kind of the front face of this merry band of misfits. I will be with the rest of the crew as they are seeking a patron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll first deal with the possibility of a patron. Where is he? All right. Okay. Roll 1d6.
Who's rolling?
Let's make Bubba
Anyone?
do it.
All right, here we go. Come on, dice. Oh, I rolled a 3.
3. Yeah. You don't encounter any likely patrons in that week. Okay. So
I'm going to work out at whatever facilities they have to keep muscle.
Yep. Well, you've got your own ship as well. But yeah, you can do that. Now there are trade goods available as well. There's 15 tons of computer parts at 165,000 a ton. There's 19 tons of copper available at 1,800 a ton. There's 70 tons of wood available at 700 credits a ton. 5 tons of pharmaceuticals at 80,000 a ton, and 30 tons of machine tools at $1 million a ton. So if you want to take cargo, you wouldn't be able to fit the wood, but you'd be able to, and you wouldn't be able to fit all the machine tools, but you'd be able to fit everything else. You've got about 30 tons. The machine tools would be a real squeeze. You wouldn't be able to get anything else in there, in the cargo bay. You wouldn't be able to move through it properly.
Particularly if we can find somewhere that needs it. I mean, the resale value could be decent.
It could. Now, as for passengers, you've got to put a thing up of saying where you're going to next.
So that is the question, Captain. Where to next?
Well, that is a good question. Where to next? May I see the star chart there, please, Mr. Gameman?
Yep. So, where am I now?
Is my audio any better, by the way?
Yes, it is. It is. It was just doing a strange buzzing for some reason.
Okay.
Okay, so there is the star map, and I'll just zoom in on the relevant part. Okay, so you guys are down here at Le Guin.
Le Guin, right.
Yeah, so you had originally started at Gibson. You went to Lever. We had that little shootout. And now you're at Le Guin, or rather you're in orbit around Le Guin. And that star indicates a naval base. So within your one jump radius, you've got Gibson and Lever, of course. You've also got Kafka and Sturgeon.
I don't know. Something about Kafka bugs me.
Bill?
Kafka is where I'll spring the exit visa adventure on you.
But then Sturgeon is equally fishy.
Can I share something only a linguist would care about?
Go for it. See if anyone gets it.
Okay. So the term used in Kafka's work, right, the Metamorphosis, doesn't actually translate to insect, fly, bug, or anything. The term in German actually translates to the most loathsome and despicable of creature.
Okay.
So that would be somebody that would steal bedazzled flip flops.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I find it funny that he gets described as a bug, right? And then everybody thinks like cockroach or fly or whatever, right? But nowhere in the story is he ever named as a fly, a cockroach, whatever. It's interesting. I was taking a linguistics course last semester, and we actually read like 4 different translations of it, just for that reason.
So, what is sturgeon?
Okay, I believe that
A very
I believe
big
Gary is
fish.
familiar with all the the numbers.
I can find that information rapidly. Yeah. Just need to know them.
Yep. There we go. Those are the codes that I've just popped up.
Oh.
So we've got Kafka.
There it is. Okay.
Okay. See.
Oops.
Oops.
Why am I in there? Definitely high law level. Lots of people.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Tech 7, which is about 1960s Earth, maybe.
That's not a great thing, but then we could take 7 tons of computer parts there,
Yeah.
or how many ever tons there were. We could clean up quite well, actually.
Yeah, that could be pretty good.
So the players who or the viewers who don't know, Traveller does a whole string of numbers to describe each world and tell you something about them, and that's what each number means is revealed at the link that I'm posting through Bill's account there, travellermap.com/doc/second survey. Okay, so that's Kafka. Gary was still looking at that. He's probably going to get his book or something to consult.
I'm leaning hard into going to Kafka. I mean, all jokes aside, we could load up on computer parts and probably make a killing there. The kind where we get money, not the kind where we leave bodies scattered all over a hotel room.
Been there,
So
done that.
the first one is the starport class, so a class C starport, which means routine quality, only unrefined fuel available, reasonable repair facilities present, scout base may be present. Okay, the second number is the size of the planet, basically its diameter in miles. So that's 4,000 compared to Earth 7,000, so that's a smaller one. The third number is a type of atmosphere. Type 3 atmosphere is very thin, requires respirator. The next number is hydrographics, in this case 1. So that number is the percent times 10 the planet is water. So this is 7 because it's 70% covered in water. So this is 10% covered in water. The next one is the population exponent, in this case 8. It's got hundreds of millions of people. And then there's the government type. Government type 9, an impersonal bureaucracy. And then after that, what have we got? And then there's the law level. Law level A, weapon possession prohibited. So you can't carry any weapons with you, and you can't even have them at home. If you've got them on the ship, they'll probably lock them up when you land and give them back to you later. And then the tech level is tech level 7, which is miniaturized electronics, like 1970s level. So that's Kafka. And then you've got Sturgeon. Sturgeon, which is spaceport type D, poor quality, only unrefined fuel available, no repair facilities present. And then it's size 3, 3,000 miles across. Atmosphere is the same as Kafka, very thin, requires respirator. It's 80% covered in water, or probably ice with that thinner an atmosphere. It's still got billions of inhabitants, despite its unfriendly atmosphere and the rest. It's run by a civil service bureaucracy.
Yikes.
Oh, sorry, no, hang on. What was it? Yeah, civil service bureaucracy. And law level A. So weapon possession prohibited, as for Kafka. A nice pair of oils, aren't they? But technological level 11. So interstellar community. So they, actually know how to make jump drives and things. Even if they can't, if they don't have a sample for them, they've got pretty high level technology there. Well, that's what it says anyway.
All right. Well, how about this, crew? Let's buy just a bunch of computer parts. We'll take them to Kafka and sell them, and then jump over to Sturgeon and see what's happening there.
Sounds good to me. We need to make money, not spend money.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, there's
that's very true.
Of course, there's the consideration that wherever you go, you might be. It might just be a stepping stone to somewhere else.
Right.
Correct. That's the idea. That's the idea.
Yeah. So I mean, with that in mind, you might you wouldn't be going to Helderman because it doesn't lead to anywhere except where you've already been.
No, Bubba, can't hear you.
But yeah, you might be going back to Lem, so you can go down to Lem and Pole, or Tanaka or something, or Heinlein. The Heinlein could go to Heinlein, and so on. So there might be other places that you want to go to.
Yeah, well, for now, let's get the computer parts, and then we'll see where we need to go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyle, question.
Yep.
Could you give us a copy of that map in a file at some point?
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
I'll just make that note.
Yeah.
So just Heinlein map to send out subset. My handwriting's become really atrocious in all these years of typing. I mean, it wasn't fantastic before, but I mean, look at that handwriting. My God, how awful was that? Anyway, so you're planning to jump to Kafka, is it?
Yes.
So there you are at Laguin, planning to jump to Kafka. Rightio. We will lock that in. Now, the computer parts are 165,000 a ton. Can you afford any?
I'm sorry, how many a ton? Say again?
165,000.
160. Oh, well, no.
Well, we just put 150 in the bank, didn't we?
No, that's true. We did.
We just put 150.
Yeah, but that was to do the cabin. Remember?
Well, part
you-
of that went to do the cabin, not all of it.
Well, we sold 3 cryo units for 75K each. We did the cabin for 75K, so we've got 150K left.
Correct. And I'd sure, and I would, and I and I would, I give my last grand to do a mercantile venture. This is what my character lives for, right? So here's where the dollar signs light up in my eyes and go, all right, let's make some money. You know,
Yeah, I
So
mean,
how much money do we need to do this?
an extra what? Basically 11 grand or so to buy a ton.
I will put in for the franchise. I will do it. We need to start making money. So I'm down for the 11 grand as long as I am minimally reimbursed that at the very least.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree in that.
That's completely and totally fair.
I mean, obviously I get a cut of the profits, but I'm just saying if we break even.
Yeah.
And let me ask you something, Kyle. Is there a way? My old elite for the Commodore 64 skills are coming back online. Is there a way to check interstellar markets and see what computer parts are going for by the ton over yonder in the Kafka system before we pull?
No, there isn't, because remember, you don't have instant communication. Communication's only at the speed of the fastest ship. This is more like trading in the age of sail, or in the age of sail.
Okay.
But you can make some. That's one of the reasons for the world codes, basically. That, like, if you have a planet that's agricultural, they probably want machinery. If you have a planet that's industrial, they probably want food, and so on.
Okay. Alrighty then. Let's.
Like, you can think in the modern day. You know, you don't have to be an expert on economics to know that Japan is probably importing some food because they have lots of factories and stuff, so they're not spending time doing that. And then somewhere like Egypt probably wants everything because it's a poor country, you know. So yeah, but as Geek Nerd Game said, no guarantees in investments.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you get your ship loaded up with a ton of computer parts.
So we bought 1 ton of computer parts.
Yep.
Do we have to roll anything to see if we can pick up some hitchhikers going to where we're going?
Yeah, some passengers. Right, so for Kafka, okay, make a 2d6 roll.
Who's rolling?
Anyone can do
How
it.
about you, Bubba, since you called it?
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
you're looking for lot lizards. You do it.
And I rolled an 11.
Yeah, you get some potential passengers.
Woohoo!
Now, where's my? Is it printed, or I have to go to my video? All right. All right. Roll 3d6, but just roll it as in order rather than adding them up. So, like, if you roll 2, 3, and 4, tell me I got 2, 3, 4, rather than saying I got 10.
Okay.
9.
The first roll is a 5. Second roll is a 2, and the third roll is a 6. So 5, 2, 6.
Okay. So you get this guy who's mustering out of the army. He wants to go. Let me find it.
I asked the grunt, would he like to sign up and pay just a little bit extra for our frequent flyer VIP program?
All right. Yeah. So his name is Logan Tam. He's 30 years old and he's an Army major.
Logan 10. Okay.
Tam. Yeah.
Tan?
Tam.
Tan. Got it. I was about to say, is he from Logan's Run?
There is no sanctuary. Sure, there is. Right over there. There's your bunk.
Oh, and you get a second Army guy, but he only did 1 term.
Quitter.
Hey, I wanted to stay.
Don't give him the Bubba discount.
He got remped, huh? Or rift. Rift, not remped.
Yep.
We'll charge him double.
Yeah, don't give him the Bubba discount.
Certainly not on the flip flop.
Yeah, that one, this second one ain't getting a pair of bedazzled flip flops because he's a quitter.
No, I'm sure he'll. Yeah, his name's Bruno Wood. I'm sure he'll be devastated.
Well, he would because he could have had some bedazzled flip flops that had his name on them.
Let's not pick on our passengers.
Well, they must be escorting.
Oh, and if any of our potential passengers have a little dark-haired brooding girl, we don't want them on the next ship. I don't want them on board. Just move on to the next ship that comes through.
They must be accompanying the Baroness Marie Abbey. Marie Abbey.
So, are we turning out the spacefaring, moisture farming, teenagers and old men as well?
And her
These
name
aren't the droids you're looking for.
and this is Baroness who?
Baroness Mary Abe. She's a baroness from this particular Juki. And yeah, she's traveling on business. She says, unfortunately, my private yacht is under overhaul and I can't wait.
Oh, we completely understand.
And I also pitch her
Where is the ambassador?
I also pitch her the frequent flyer VIP package. And her flip flops will say Baroness on them.
Oh, you're customizing them on the fly.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
at least there's one thing they can say. Everything in this ship is at least in their bunk area, is as new as you could possibly ask for.
It has that new hotel stateroom smell.
Right. So the first guy has Logan on his flip flops. Bruno has Quitter on his flip flops, and then the Baroness.
I thought you weren't going to give him any.
Yeah,
I changed my mind. But his is going to say Quitter.
But do you want to waste some bedazzles on doing that? You might get somebody better along that you can make them for.
Oh, I got tons of flip flops and bedazzles.
Yeah, he bought it in bulk someplace.
I went to the Space Sam's Club or the Space Costco.
All right, and that's all the passengers that want to travel.
Okay, and they're all headed to Kafka.
The standard rate is 8,000 for middle passage.
We
Alrighty.
just made 24K, and out of that 24,
The Baroness says, I don't want a fourth in our cabin. I don't want a fourth in our cabin. I'll pay for the space. So she'll pay you 32,000 for the fourth.
Well, okay.
Excellent. Well,
I will inform her that will equal 2 punches on her VIP card, and if she gets 4 punches, she gets a free pair of bedazzled flip flops.
I see, she says. All right, and you guys will be able to travel next week.
sounds wonderbar.
So,
You want my shopping list now, later, or how would you like to do this?
just email me your shopping list.
Okay, that'll be fine. I can do that.
And I'll advise you what percentage of it is totally illegal.
So if they're probably all of it, but you know, if they, well, I won't go there. So,
well, out of that 32, I'll take 11 out and repay the captain.
Well, thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. That puts me back at the 51 large.
So the title of the episode 3 laws referred to lots of 3 laws. One is the 3 laws of the things that are interstellar crimes, that are Commonwealth capital crimes, the only 3 Commonwealth capital crimes, which are pluming, AI, and murder of a noble. Murder of a noble, or like a marshal, someone like that. Mm-hmm. Those are the only 3 Commonwealth capital crimes. The others are all, you get imprisonment or whatever. And also the 3 laws of robotics, just in case you guys decided to activate the AIs.
Well, as long as the Baroness minds her P's and Q's, she'll be okay.
This is relevant.
She's not a Commonwealth noble. She's a local noble. So.
Oh, so she's fair
game. The murder is
yes.
between you and her homeworld.
Oh, Bill.
Yes. I
was serious about giving my last grand though, because I'd like that grand in return so I can start making some money. So I'm happy to have a net value of 0. So give yourself another grand back, because I'd like to have more than a grand on my character sheet one day.
Not a problem. No, I was just going to mention, Marvel Comics used to have a great magazine back in the 70s and 80s called Epic Illustrated. It was kind of their answer to heavy metal, a little bit less sex than in heavy metal, but still pretty, as those comics went adult themed, and one of the best one-pagers ever. I mean, it's a great little science fiction story. It's a close-up shot of a robot's face, and he's talking about how he's an entertainment robot on a starship. And he knows like thousands of jokes in hundreds of languages. He has anti-gravity magnets in the soles of his feet so he can tap dance in 0G. And he just goes on and on about all of his talents, but he's lamenting the fact. And as he's discussing this, he's moving away from the panel so you can see he's drifting in space. He's talking about how despite all of that talent, it's all programmed, and he's never had an original, creative, humorous thought ever to cross his mind until 2 weeks ago. Finally, there was a spark, there was a jump, there was an intellectual leap. And at a formal dinner on board the ship, he smacked the captain squarely in the face with a yeasty cream pie, and the captain then shoved him out an airlock. and there's like 4 panels of him like drifting away to almost pinpoint size. And in the last panel, there's just a word balloon against the star field, and he's saying, "Hell, I thought it was funny." Has anyone in the last 100 years watched someone tap to only Gregory Hines? I can honestly tell you that only the late great Gregory Hines. Otherwise,
obviously, they've never seen Bubba do the soft shoe routine with a handful of sand. And some
no, we haven't. And thankfully, this is not a LARP, so we won't.
Am I not supposed to be dressed up as Bubba right now? Man, I wish I would tell me this beforehand.
I'm sorry.
I think Todd is a good example to the rest of us on the importance of being cheesy and overacting and so on. I think, yeah, he could be a good example to all of us. Don't be a character, be a caricature. That's much more entertaining.
Kind of the opposite of don't be part of the reason somebody's having a bad day. Be the entire reason they're having a bad day. just do the Zen opposite of that, and you'll have a fantastic day.
Yeah.
But good game, everyone.
Wow.
We found it thoroughly enjoyable.
I was on mute this whole time.
Yeah, you were last talking about your you were last talking about wanting an ROI for your $1,000 you're pitching in.
No, I was giving quippy one-liners the entire time. I was on mute.
He was wondering why we weren't laughing. Oh well.
Yeah. I've done that too. Thank you, Geek Nerd Name. Thank you, TJ. Thank you to our fine collection of Traveler players, and the guy, of course, without whom we wouldn't have anything. Kyle, thank you very much. You ran another awesome game. We appreciate it as always. Thank you to everyone out there in the audience for your great participation. Geek Nerd Name, TJ, Damien. And I was swapping some Red Dwarf lyrics with Wave of Mutilation earlier. Gotta love some Red Dwarf. Imperial Ramblings, Robert Phillips. Thank all you guys and anyone out there who maybe stopped in a little bit later, or if you're watching this later. And let me tell you something, if you just cruise by, if you're just out there on YouTube just faffing about, and you're like, what's going on here? Why is there a 2-hour video labeled Traveler? If you're not subscribed, please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. It really helps out. And if you like it, leave it a thumbs up, leave it a like. I see the likes, and guess what? I'm no Shirking Daisy, and neither is Kyle. If you leave a dislike, I'll see it too. I understand. I get it. Leave a comment underneath. Tell us what you liked about it, and we'll do more of it. So I think that's where we're gonna call it an evening. Any parting thoughts, group?
I had a good time.
Good.
And I wanted to drop this gem for Geek Good Gaming. Bless your heart. There you go.
Awesome.
Well, Kyle was so stoic throughout it, and we're just dying on the side, and he just kind of rolls with it. I guess that's just the English thing to do, huh?
I think you've just got to do that as a game master. I think you just have to roll with it. Like, if you try to push against your players, it's going to be messy. I think it's like Bill and I have talked about this lots of times on the stream when we had more general chat. It's the idea of, you have this living game world. There's all these things out there in the game world. There's people with their own goals and plans and lives to live and that. And if the players do nothing and don't interfere in them, certain things are going to happen. And if the players step up and interfere, that's going to change things. So, you don't have any particular narrative that you're trying to push. That's railroading. You don't do that. You just roll with whatever stuff that players do. smart or stupid or in between. Because sometimes you think it's stupid, but they get some good dice rolls and manage to survive it. And sometimes it's really smart and they get some terrible dice rolls and it goes really badly. You just come up with whatever's reasonable and or funny. You let them give it a go, and you don't interfere too much. There's the game world, So in this case, it was quite reasonable for them to chase you, but they're not super well organized. They're busy occupying a whole planet. So if somebody just jumps in a ship and takes off, then it might take them a while to realize and to pursue you and so on. If you give them long enough, they will catch up with you. But in this case, it's just one planetary force and that, so they're not going to chase you forever. So just go with it. Your characters can do things, and cutting people's throats in a bathtub is a big problem if you stick around in town. It's less of a problem if you get the hell out of Dodge. Now, if you go back to that world, there may be people who wish to have words with you. On the other hand, by the time you go back to that world, it may be that the occupiers are being kicked out, in which case your murders are just lost in the chaos of all that. Or it may be that the occupiers have firmly established their control over that world and they want to track down anyone who ever did them wrong in any way whatsoever, and they arrest you as soon as you land. You don't know. You don't know. So yeah, I think Game Master has to be stoic and just roll with things. If you try to railroad them along a particular path, you're always going to be disappointed. Or even railroad them into how they should feel about things. As I've joked before, why I've never been a good Cthulhu Game Master. Bill's obviously better, but I've never been a good one because I spend all this time trying to build up this dramatic tension and fear, and then somebody makes a poo joke or something, and so it just doesn't work for me. So
it is hard for our generation to play Call of Cthulhu because we're the generation that was raised on Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo is the best.
If the Scooby-Doo cartoon and the whole franchise had never existed, I think Call of Cthulhu would have been an easier game for us to play. But yeah, sometimes, you got the whole group creeping through the haunted mansion and, there's deep ones with a statuette of Dagon. They're dancing around in the sub basement. And somebody's going to say something like, Fred, you and Daphne go explore over here. Somebody's going to do it, and it's going to happen. And that's what makes me so happy about the Friday games is I think we actually brought it. I mean, it was a fun game. Like, I'm not going to turn this into Bill Sylvie's Crypt of Grim Darkness or anything like that. But the Friday Halloween Call of Cthulhu thing was so well done. I think we didn't descend into constant giggling and so on. TJ says, I did go downhill when they introduced scratch. Yeah. And what are you gonna do?
Well, I was wondering when in the Call of Cthulhu game when we were going to get chased and go in and out of random doors in different settings, like they do on Scooby-Doo when they're playing the music.
Yeah, I know the music of which you speak.
Yeah, so I think as Game Master, you've got to be willing for players to ruin your world. So
yes, no campaign ever survives contact with the players.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching a couple of Scott Adkins movies, and this guy is this MMA fighter who went into making movies, and he just pumps them out at a ridiculous rate, like 3 or 4 a year or something. It's the usual thing where there's the villain and all these henchmen, and they burst into a room. Nobody shoots the chief villain first. They always shoot the henchman first. It's a classic action movie thing. And I'm watching and thinking, just once I'd like to see them shoot the chief villain first, and then see what the other guys do. What do the henchmen do? Do the henchmen pull his body away and try to save him? And withdraw from the fight, or do they just go, oh, he's dead now, one of us will take over, or he's dead now, but we still want revenge or something, But no, it has to come down to the chief hero and the chief villain punching it out, But in a role-playing game, the players will do that. Well, we shoot General Rommel, of course.
I'm going to drive my Sherman around the German tanks to the rear and attack Rommel's command HQ place. I'm not fighting these. And you have your game master Montgomery. He's like, well, I say that's not how we bloody do it. You bring that tank back out.
Well, there's a famous story of the Battle of Waterloo, which I've no idea if it's true or not. But the story goes that an artillery officer comes running up to the Duke of Wellington and says, "Oh, we can actually see Napoleon and his guys on the hill over there. We could target our cannons to that, and we could take them." And he says, "It is not the business of generals to be firing at one another," and goes on with the battle. And it's like, yes, he wasn't a player, because players would go, "Yeah, okay, take him out."
Exactly.
And it wouldn't have changed anything because like one or two shells would have landed nearby. It probably wouldn't have hit anything. And then Napoleon and his guys would have moved out of the way. It wouldn't have just stood there being shot at.
Napoleon and his guys would have rolled up with their own cannon and been like, "Two can play at this game."
Yeah. But players would have been like, "Oh, but I could get a lucky dice roll." And damn it, they probably would. Because it always seems to happen.
All right, y'all. I'm going to bounce.
Okay.
All right. Catch you later. You take care.
See you, TK.
Next week. Okay, so I'm going to head out too. I got to do some stuff before I go down.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately kind of on storm watch this evening, and I got ribs to cook, and I got a million other things to do. So, as well as write white papers, gonna always write white papers. Well, I'm done writing them, but I've got to tweak them. So I'm gonna get out of here. Before I go, because this is kind of a thing I always do, though, we have some contributors of the show, and I want to take a hot minute to thank those who quite literally help keep the lights on around here, and say a big thank you to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, who just dashed out, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, the whole observatory out there in Hawaii. I've got their support. It's awesome. William Smith, the Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood. I've known Kevin for 32 years now, and that just kind of blows my mind. Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob, Jeremy Rule, Boganora, Mikey Mank, Sky Hernstrom, Pete Sullivan, the DM's Council, and Baron Von Headbanger, which is just one of the coolest handles. I didn't know we had royalty and that he was a metalhead. So thank you very much. Yes, I've got they're basically industry reports about companies that do developer software development security. That is an answer to Geek Nerd's name question. So you guys have a lovely evening. You may stay like and chitter chatter, but I got to skedaddle. So peace out, everyone.
We'll all head out.
Okay.
Good night. Talk to you later.
Good night, boys and girls.
Boo bye.